again, friends, it's Dr. Joss back again. So all kidding aside, do not make your own hand sanitizer, and with almost no exceptions, do not make your own masks. So I guess it's a fun joke to pretend that I have a recipe, but let's talk about why I don't want you to make hand sanitizer. So effective hand sanitizer needs to have a minimum of 70% alcohol, but really more like 90% alcohol would be ideal. There's a couple of things that's going to make that challenging. One, how are you going to know what percentage of alcohol you ended up with? If you're mixing in essential oils and some aloe and some other things, you're going to be diluting it. It's going to be very difficult to get to 70, forget 90%, and there's no way that you're going to be able to measure to figure out that you achieved it. Also, alcohol is flammable. So if you're aiming for a 90% alcohol solution, you're really putting yourself at risk. And I don't want to hear about any fires or anything like that, people getting injured because they're trying to make hand sanitizer. And then finally, hand sanitizer, even when it's made well, is really harsh on the skin. And if you're making it yourself, probably it's not going to have any of the soothing components that are added to a commercial hand sanitizer, which means you're going to be damaging your hands and causing some cracks and microabrasions and other places that might actually increase the risk to you because virus could hide in those spots. So all in all, making your own hand sanitizer is not a good idea. Plus, soap is better anyway. So if you can't get hand sanitizer, that's okay. Use soap and water. That's actually a better way to clean your hands than hand sanitizer in the first place. So rather than using something that you don't know how effective it is, that could light on fire and might hurt your hands, just stick with something that we know works for sure and do your 20 seconds of proper hand washing with some regular soap and you're going to be better off. Masks. We already talked about masks in a previous video, so if you're healthy, there's almost no time, apart from healthcare workers, that you need a mask in the first place. So if you can't find masks, but you're a healthy person who's not working in healthcare, you don't need one anyway, so don't worry about making your own mask. If there is some reason that you need a mask, you're taking care of somebody who has COVID and there's nobody else who can do it, and there's no way to get a mask. This isn't the situation in Canada, but there are places where it's impossible to get a mask and you might be in a setting where you're providing care. Still, it is a last resort to make your own mask because much like the hand sanitizer, there is no way for you to know if what you're making is effective. Cloth, a variety of different types might help prevent virus from transmitting through it, but it might not. And there's no way for you to know how well it's working. The other thing that's risky about making your own mask is how do you know that the virus isn't sticking to the mask? So when you're touching it and taking it off and other things, you could potentially be getting virus onto your hands that would have otherwise just sort of disappeared in the space, or you could have rinsed off of your face and rinsed off of your hands. So all of that is to say that if you are stuck and you have no other options, and you're very aware of not touching the mask and washing it or only using things once, maybe, you got to use the best option that you have, even though it's not a good option. But truly, you should not be making hand sanitizer and just wash your hands.